Flat Earth, the final experiment and the realm of nature. Now, when I first introduced this, I didn't understand the orientation properly. It's like, at first glance, like we describe the flat area in the middle, and then you got the torus field coming up like that. So you've got your aurora borealis and all these kind of things. Is it associated with that, or was it associated with the tree being cut down, and that's like the energy coming out of it, or such, you know. But I also had like another way of looking at it. It's like turning it onto its side. You've got another way of looking at it. So it's like you've got, when we look into the sky and we've got these patterns. So I showed you that, like it's like looking at the torus field from the inside. So you can see like all the star trails and all these kind of things, all weathered fellow and stuff. I put it that way. So then you kind of like appropriate it to that in a way, but I've still got issues with it if that's like it's the end and that kind of you're looking that way, and then that'd be the North Pole and stuff like that kind of thing. So it's kind of like it's not quite adding up to me, so if we incorporate the yin and yang philosophy, so you got your stationary land in the center. That's all the solid, the yang energy, and then the yin energy, all the soft, flowing, chaotic energy, always in motion. It's probably not in this stationary image as how we see it here. It's probably always moving, like the entirety of it, and the land inside that just kind of stays stationary. It's kind of like that movement almost creates the buoyancy for that land in a way. So, so like I said, seeing it just like that, it's almost like that left brain way of thinking in a sense, you know what I mean? Or that old globe way of thinking, you know what I mean? You've only got that logic or whatever and stuff like. But if we kind of take it into the more spiritual kind of way of seeing things, kind of like how the ocean sees. And so we look at the ocean and we're like, from the previous episodes and all the stuff which kind of incorporates that. And so how the ocean, it's just one lens, isn't it? It's like the entire ocean is one body of water. each peak and trough creates its own lens as well, so like it's one lens made out of loads of lenses, but they all work together. So when you got like a fly's eye and it's made out of all loads of little dots, you know what I mean? um, so they're like little lenses, you know what I mean? So like it's got individual eyes or whatever, but they all work as one. So when we see like the butterfly, it's much more developed, and you can see like there's like a specific pupil, you know what I mean, which kind of is behind all those lenses. So it's the same with ocean. You can see through a drop of water. You can see through the entire lens of it. But there's water in the atmosphere. It's in the clouds as well. So, like on the sides of a fish, sometimes it's a picture of the ocean as if you stood looking and taking a photo of the ocean, rather than only having images from within the ocean. And this is where we get our eyesight from. Everything but what we have, every quality, every aspect of ourselves, it all comes from the ocean, even as emotions. So if you consider that, then like the ocean is seeing the entire sky all at once. So how we're gonna kind of perceive things, how we're gonna like kind of question how we're like a micro of a macro in that kind of sense. And now the yin aspect of our realm affects the yang aspect of our realm. So you've got like the earth chakras, all these kind of things and stuff like. And so our realm, the physical part of a realm, it's very linked to like the outer aspect of a realm. So if each one of these points is like relevant to the external aspect of a realm, and we can see how it like kind of lines up with the chakras in a sense and stuff. So, so like, you know, this is like one body in it. You know what I mean? You got all the seven chakras, so you've got all the a full body's worth of chakras in a sense. And so, like, you know, the the heart brain, which is the ocean, the cymatic patterns, which is like the brain network, how that connects to the forest brain network for all the roots, and how that's like a heart brain as well. So the consciousness of the entire plane, it's there. You know what I mean? It's already in existence and stuff. So other examples, it tells you locations. And so you got pictures. There's a mountain there. You got one there. So I kind of like thought about, like, you know, like a related to like where giant trees were and stuff like. And that's why the chakras are there in the first place. Like in fairy culture and stuff like that kind of thing. Everything has an aura, you know what I mean, and stuff like. So the trees themselves, the world have had that remaining aura, you know what I mean, which is kind of still embedded into where they are and stuff like. Which also it inspires this potential life still there, you know what I mean. It's like, could it become a tree? Could it become like, can rock turn back into a tree? You know what I mean? If we went into the ascension or whatever and all these kind of things, we don't really know what potential there is for that and stuff like that kind of thing. Like, but um, it's worth contemplating sometimes. um, so then you got planets and chakras, or wandering stars and chakras. And so you got your solar plexus, Sun and Mars. I've found there seem to be a few of these which kind of differed. Um, I liked it because it's got three there, it's got three there, it's got two on that one. So like some of them just had one for each and stuff like that. So then you got an example of how we connect to the cymatic network and stuff like. Um, So as we connect with, when we go for a walk through nature and all these kind of things, woods and stuff, you're close to roots, you know what I mean? So you've probably got a better network of how you connect to source and all these kind of things and stuff. Um, and that would also like connect to the ocean as well. Because everything's connected. Once you're connected to that, you know what I mean? Everything's connected that way. All right. So if we look at this, if we look at it that way, all right. So if we say that's summer and that's the winter, so that's the equator, are there around, you know? It's kind of like, I should get this one. Right. Should do some of this, I don't know. Right, so if we consider that to be like summer in the north, and that's winter in the north, so like how the light, it goes from one extremity to the next, you know? It's gonna like, because we're seeing the entirety all at once. It's like where I live, I'm only seeing a portion of the sky, and I can move to a different part of the world across the plane in that kind of sense and stuff like, and I can see a different portion of the sky again. So there's relative aspect to that. It's like, you know, it depends what part of the sky you're going to see depending on what location you're in. So you can't see everything at once because I'm only one part of it. I'm like a drop of the ocean which splashed out, and that's got its own little bit of view for a moment. The ocean can see what I'm seeing, but I can't see what the ocean's seeing for that time being, in a sense. I think you can, but it's we've got that yang energy as well. So because we're here in that kind of sense and stuff like that, it's kind of like, you know, we have to use both, don't we? You know what I mean, and stuff like. So it's like our approach to I think like understanding that the spiritual realm is very different to how this works. So like how we approach it with science and stuff like that kind of thing. Uh, I don't think like our technology is going to be able to figure it out, but I think your intuition and your psychic ability will be able to figure it out and stuff like. So like ignore all outside stuff. We've just got these circles here. So that's like summer and that's winter. So that's why because you imagine how the light spreads in a way, and how the ocean sees it, because the ocean sees all the light in the center, and then the ocean sees all the light on the outside. So like in the sense of, it's like the ocean can see it all at once. So so if we imagine like, oh, zoom in. Like that be the North Pole in that kind of sense, and then when it's summer, you've got all the light in the center, and then if it were winter, you've got all the light on the outside ring. So like beyond the southern um, tropic, which one is it now? Yeah, Capricorn. So once it goes beyond that extremity, that's how the water experiences it in that kind of way. So it's the yin to the yang to the experience of it. And if you consider that this is you, the entire realm, because you're micro of a macro, that's why you're connected to it in that way. It's just like the drop of the water coming out of the ocean. It's still part of the ocean, you know what I mean? It'll reconnect eventually. Um, then because it's like you can sense your body, you know what I mean? Your entire body, you know. So, like in that kind of way, this is your entire body. So, how the water perceives it, it probably sees all of it. And like how we're stationary and that's constantly moving and flowing, then because it's flowing, you're stationary, the water's in the stationary, but because it's got its heart brain network within it, and that being much more connected in spiritual terms. Like the trade off, it's like plants are probably like super psychic and we're like unaware and stuff like that kind of thing, but they can like not only read our emotions but fully understand everything about them and all these kind of things and stuff like. So water would have that trade off even more, you know what I mean? So its connection to the spirit realm would be are probably like really, you know, it's the closest thing that you can get without being there, you know what I mean, in that kind of way. Like in the butterflies when you see in the wave tunnel and it's got a face popping through. And so, you know what I mean, that's showing you what's on the other side. So another way of looking at it, say if this is an insect, like a fly, these are its eyes. It's even got like things for its nose and stuff like its mouth, etc. Right? You can cover its eyes with all those lenses, so it's like its eyes got all, you know, thousands of lenses or whatever. When you're seeing it, it's seeing everywhere in a sense. It's got quite a wide view anyway, but but as it's like a micro of a macro, it's showing you that same kind of example. You know, okay, only the fly can only see its local area, but as it is a micro of a macro, it's showing you what the full thing is. And if you zoom into its eyes, it's the surface of the water. It's just all the peaks and troughs, making up like the many lenses of the whole lens. It's like how we exist here, all experiencing our own experience. You know what I mean? But we're all part of the whole. So we connect in ways and stuff like oops. So summer, winter. This makes it like possible for like Australia or the southern continents to have a longer summer, you know, longer days like daylight in summer and stuff, and just for that to have shorter, you know what I mean? Because we're in black spot there whilst it's their summer, and so it brings some relevance to it. And it's the nature of our reality. That's, you know, It is. Because, you know what I mean? We've got so many examples of it and stuff like. So, like, how that'd work on a flat Earth, this seems appropriate, and it's kind of difficult to explain and all that kind of stuff. It's like a big mouthful or whatever, but at the same time, it's giving you a reason for all these southern um, countries and stuff to have that longer daylight in summer. So another example. Um, you can see how it contract and expand. So in that kind of sense, it's the same as like your pupil. So like when your pupil, like it opens up when there's not enough light and all these kind of things, or rather than saying there's not enough light, to draw more light in, whereas it closes up to prevent too much light from getting in. So in terms of like a micro and macro of that, it's like your eye is, it's what it's doing. It's like showing you the different seasons. You know, the summer it's bright. I forgot what I'm going to say for that one. Like your magnets, just an example. An example of showing you the patterns and all that kind of stuff. You get with Taurus field. We showed you from inside, didn't we? With the in about first series. But like I said, it's really difficult to orientate which wave it'd be and stuff kind of thing. It's almost like it'd be constantly difficult to perceive, you know what I mean? So like it going under, you know what I mean? That doesn't really make sense. But if we're part of the consciousness and we'll witness it all, then on the flat plane, it's presenting everything on the front side of it. On the top side, it's gonna like, so it can see itself. There seems to be a bit of vanity in the ocean. I've noticed there's something else which is, you know, I suppose that all the aspects of us, you know what I mean, good or bad and stuff, kind of comes from there. So, expanding on it, you've got like, hold on, like that one, it's just two. You see them from one extremity to the other, all these kind of things and stuff like. But that doesn't mean we can't rule out more numbers, you know what I mean, or more, you know, like hidden land extra, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, so there might be like other locations and all these kind of things. The potential for it to be like an infinite plane as well, because consciousness, I mean, like the limits of the imagination, the boundless, really. You know what I mean? It depends upon conditioning, but you know what I mean. It's like you know that your mind is limitless in that kind of sense and stuff. So in terms of consciousness, the realm, it is of that. So there is a limitless aspect to it. So we could have more suns, we could have a lot more land and stuff kind of thing, in such ways. But we seem to favour two. We've got like the two sides to us, like the reflection, all them kind of things and stuff like. So a spiral on each side, and you can see it there. There's like two spirals to it, which again, it's like the fly's eye. You see the more pupil, like shade of colour being different for the butterfly's eye and all these kind of things. So, like connecting to source in that kind of way is almost like connecting to everything within the realm I suppose. Um, but mainly like the two aspects. Like I said, we've got this DNA and all these kind of things. So yin and yang. So you know what I mean, that duality aspect of things. You know, we've covered many numbers. It doesn't have to be just twos and all these kind of things. So V is the other aspect of things, and we did do that. We looked at the flower of life pattern. It's like 6 circles. So we're like, potential for different realms. Another thing to add to that is, I think it's Hindu, Buddhist and Hindu, maybe both. I don't know. They're kind of the same anyway, but kinda. They describe us to have 6 realms. So there's a seventh in because there's one at centre. It might be 6 realms outside of the centre one, and the centre one is here, you know what I mean, and all these kind of things. But you had your demonic realm, the angelic realm, the animal kingdom. I think they've been named as kingdoms rather than realms. Spiritual kingdom, and so on. So, I can sometimes remember them all, but I've forgotten at the moment. But like the relevance of that, but then also like that for all of life pattern, it doesn't have to end at that 6 or 7. You know what I mean? It can repeat that pattern, can it? So then you can have as many realms or planes of existence in those kind of ways as well. But yeah, it offers like an alternate look at it, and a lot of this is like based on the Origins of Life series. So it's like there's a lot of references in there which kind of will connect to this if you kind of saw all that as well. For anybody who's unfamiliar, because it's titled differently, I put Flat Earth in title, so and it's kind of like I've got quite a lot of videos kind of where this is all coming from and stuff like. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Cheers.